The crowds followed Jesus on foot from the towns. When Jesus landed and saw a large crowd, he had compassion on them and healed their sick. As evening approached, the disciples came to him and said, "This is a remote place, and it's already getting late. Send the crowds away so they can go to the villages and buy themselves some food." Jesus replied, "They do not need to go away. You give them something to eat." "We have here only 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish," they answered.
In 1984, the Social Concerns Committee of the Sisters of the Sorrowful Mother sought proposals to address the needs in the neighborhood surrounding the Teutonia Mother House. The committee, in existence since 1970 and co-chaired by Sister M. Cecile Pollock and Sister Felicidad Chavez, specifically sought projects that would address the needs of the elderly, women, and peacemaking. Both formal and informal surveys exposed needs.
The first thing we did was to canvass the neighborhood, find out what was there, what the people thought about a community center, who would be willing to participate, how would we start it, what would we do. We spent a lot of time going around and interviewing people in the community, the ordinary citizens and people in businesses and everything, and they liked the idea in general. And some were willing to help, and some were willing to donate.
The sisters had noticed an increase of people asking for assistance at their own convent door, and the area of northwest Milwaukee was also home to the largest population of elderly in Milwaukee, which coincidentally numbered approximately 5,000. The same number of people who were fed by the miracle of the loaves and fishes. A unique neighborhood center was one of the large project proposals at the 1985 Provincial Assembly of the Sisters. The center was to be a pleasant and safe place where people could come to socialize and have their needs met. The goal of the center's programs was to help people achieve social and emotional growth, preserve and strengthen the family unit, and overcome spiritual loneliness and isolation. The meal program was the vehicle to bring people together in order to establish an atmosphere of trust.
We decided we would start out with a meal for the poor. And we decided on 3 meals a week. So we, the Sisters of the Sorrowful Mother, would be responsible for one day of the week. But we didn't have a hall. So North Presbyterian Church offered to let us use their hall on our night. And then they took a night, and Florist Avenue Lutheran Church took a night.
The committee responsible for the creation of this proposal included Sister Rosalind Nichols, Sister Pat Flanagan, Sister Pat Dunn, and Betty Guy. The Francis Streitel Community Center was one of the early names suggested for the center. However, Agape was the name selected, as it meant love feast among the early Christians and always preceded the Lord's Supper. Agape was observed with prayers, songs, readings of scripture and official letters, and with offerings for the poor.
There were several names suggested, and Agape won out. Because that's what I wanted right from the beginning. Because that's a beautiful name, isn't it?
The word community was chosen to reflect the SSM mission of building community among the people they plan to serve.
From the very beginning, Agape was created as a partnership between the Presbyterian Church and the Lutheran Church located in the same area. And in fact, we had no actual center. We had a few offices in the parish house. However, all of the actual services that were provided in the basement of the church or in some part of the church. So that was a very tight collaboration. And today, if you look at all of the services being provided at Agape, they are the product of a lot of collaboration. We also work very closely with UNCOM, which is the United Neighborhood Centers of Milwaukee. So alone, the Sisters of the Sorrowful Mother or ministry could not provide all of the support that we need at Agape. In order to serve the people in the area, We need all of the people that come together and help us provide these various services.